They cannot say anything to him. But to Krishna, in Golok, they can say anything, the gopis. As a matter of fact, even the scolding of Mother Yashoda or the scolding of the gopis, Krishna considers as nectar to his ears. That is not possible in this Vaikuntha Rasa. Please try to understand, this is all fundamentals. And if you get that into your head, that will be your beacon for the rest of your life for making different goals, spiritual goals. It's very important. That is why I'm taking the time and the extra time and effort to explain these things before I even go into Mahaprabhu. So Krishna is so sweet that he actually reciprocates with each and every person in whatever ras they want. So if they want somebody who has worship him as a master, then he says, okay, fine, all of Vaikuntha is open for you, and you can worship me as any of the millions of forms that I have in Vaikuntha, and you are more than welcome to do that. But if I want to take you in my own personal house, then you have to be a very intimate associate of mine. He doesn't allow anybody into Golok. You have to be just like, again, taking the example of Prime Minister. If your friend is a Prime Minister, you have to have some quality of friendship to even enter the compound of the Prime Minister's gate, right? Is it true or not? Yes. Huh? How many of you have went to Pennsylvania Avenue, White House? How many of people have visited Washington? You have seen outside how many guards are there. You cannot even step inside even 1 foot. You cannot even do that. Right? But imagine all those people going in and out, they have a special relationship with the President. They are qualified. And the reason is because of the relationship. Krishna will give you bhakti. He will give you bhakti in Vaikuntha Bhav, in his other avatars. But to give him his personal bhakti in Golok means he becomes subservient to you. He becomes subservient to you. That is the special quality. Just like a president, when he comes home in his room, he goes down on his hands and knees and becomes a horsey for his 5-year-old daughter. Right? The most powerful person in the world. He becomes subservient to his 5-year-old child. True or not?
Yes.
Out of that love. So that kind of love that is there, Krishna misses all that in the Vaikuntha Bhav. He doesn't get all that. He doesn't get that. He wants to also get slapped. He wants to get the stick from his mother, but Mother Kaushalya can never do that to Ramchandra. Or Mother Kaikai cannot do that. Sumitra Mata cannot do that. They are very respectful. They know he is the Supreme Lord. Although he is the son, true, but still, you cannot do that. Is it true or not? Even in our personal experience, can you actually catch the ear or slap your 21-year-old son these days or daughter? You cannot. That distance happens.
Especially in this country.
In this country you cannot. Right? But we have seen in India, in the older times, at least 1 or 2 generations before, even a 50-year-old man can be chastised by his grandfather in front of everybody.
I still do it. If I'm ready, I do it.
Well, then that's true. But
That's your good luck.
yeah. But my point is that Krishna wants to feel that. He wants that personal relationship. He wants somebody to chastise him. He wants somebody to tell him to carry his baggage when he loses. He wants somebody to tell him that, hey Krishna, just because you have 900,000 cows and Nand Baba is the richest person, that doesn't mean that you're going to get the special privileges. You lost the game, you are also going to become Murga. And you will catch your ears. And you have to do up and down. And this is what Krishna misses in Vaikuntha. Please try to understand. He misses these things. And that is why Golok is special. And Golok, this is where he gives the authority and he makes his devotees forget that he is the Supreme Lord. And he also practically forgets that he is also the Supreme Lord. There is pure sweetness. Nothing but pure sweetness. So, coming to the different devotees of Krishna in Golok, or the different rasas, there were 4 rasas I said. There is Dasya, there is Sakhya, meaning there is friends of Krishna, right? And then there is the Vatsalya Ras, meaning the elderly gopis, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, etc., Upananda, the brothers of Nanda Baba, and the different elderly gopis, etc. And then there's the Madhurya Ras, meaning the gopis of the young gopis of Vraj, the milkmaid, the cowherd girls of Vraj. So out of these four relationships, they have a specialty. Each relationship has a very specialty. Like those who consider Krishna as their little baby, like Mother Yashoda, doesn't matter, still takes the stick and tries to chase him and bind him with the grinding motor in the Damodar Leela. That you are naughty, you are breaking pots, enough is enough. Stand in one corner, I am going to tie you down. That relationship, that sweetness is there. It's possible to tie the entire the personality from whom everything emanates in the entire creation to be tied. Namaste tu damne swaradipti dhamne tvadiyo udarayatha vishwasya dhamne. That is the power. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala and Bhakta Vashya. Everybody say that. Bhakta Vatsala means Krishna is the one. Vatsa means like a child or like a calf. Like how the cow takes care of the calf, licks the calf nicely, clean, gives the calf lots of milk, gives the nourishment. That is Vatsa. And that is usually in Vaikuntha Bhav. That Vatsa Bhav. But Bhakta Vashya is in Golok. Vashya means one who is controlled by his devotees. That Bhav is in Golok. So, under just normal scrutiny, does not Golok make a very special place? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's a specialty. Is it not?
Yes.
Specially and distinctively. Now, even amongst these rasas of the Sakhya, meaning friendship, of the Vatsalya, meaning the parental love, there is a love of the Madhurya Ras, or the love of the gopis. And the love of the gopis kind of encompasses all the other three rasas. And from practical examples, we can understand that. Let's say somebody who is a married couple and husband and wife are there, and the wife is serving nicely the husband is serving the wife. So Dasya Ras is present?
No. Madhurya.
Serving. Dasya.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it true or not?
Yeah.
Immediately when the husband comes home,
Yeah.
wife will even, sometimes, immediately give a nice glass of water. That is what?
Service.
That is serving, right? Glass of Dasya Ras, right? Washing the clothes of your husband, etc. That is the Dasya Ras is present in it.
Yeah.
Is it true or not?
Yes.
Right? The husband is sometimes sick, or wife is sometimes sick, and the husband and the wife, they simply caress the head and set up the wife and gives a glass of water with the medicine, just like a child, and feeding with the spoon because the person is weak. So isn't that like a Vatsalya Ras right there present?
Yes.
True or not?
Yes.
It's present. And of course, then the lover and the beloved, as we all know as adults, that special rasa exists. And one more thing that I would like to specifically mention, sex is not the impetus in Golok or in Vaikuntha. We think that is the highest pleasure here. It is not so.
It's not.
There is a pleasure that is even beyond that it cannot be described. Actually, Krishna was the topmost brahmachari. Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Sex का कोई मायना ही नहीं है वहां पर. See, in this material world, people run after sex. People want to impress women, or women want to impress men, and it's all about that. If you really look at the world, it's completely revolving around the opposite sex. How to impress the opposite sex. It's completely 110%, 1,010%. It boils down to that. That's the impetus in this. But because that is the highest pleasure in the material world. But in the spiritual world, there is a pleasure that is higher than that. And that cannot be described into words. So even the different loving affairs of Krishna with the gopis, it's completely pure. It's on a transcendental platform. One should not misunderstand that some people who are of very, very bad intelligence, they consider Krishna as a playboy. They consider Krishna as somebody who is out of line. No. And because they will never understand these things, because the problem with that is because they have never had the opportunity to associate with devotees. They've never been on the Sattvic platform. They've never had prasad. They've never had the association of scriptures. They've never heard Hari Katha. And then they come to these conclusions, and that is very offensive. That is the reason why Srila Prabhupada and so many of our acharyas have said that one should, even when we are devotees, gradually study the scriptures as per the prescribed order. So Prabhupada said, study Bhagavad Gita first. That is like your graduate level. And then Bhagavatam is your masters. And then Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat is the PhD. So, and again, Bhagavatam also, most Bhagavat Kathakars, they jump directly to the 10th canto, Krishna Leela. And that is not right. Because why is it that Vyasadeva compiled the 9 cantos first to lay a foundation? And then when you come to Krishna Leela, then you will relish it instead of questioning it in your head. Because the moment we start questioning it, especially in a bad way, we are committing offenses. And those offenses will become an impediment in our spiritual life. And that is the important, very important. So anyways, so talking about Krishna, the fourth relationship being the Madhuri Ras, being the rasa of the gopis. And the love is so sublime, it's so pure, that it is impossible for us to either describe it, to even understand it. It is just sufficient to say that it is of the purest of the purest levels. And Krishna really loves the association of those wonderful gopis. So one time, Krishna, while he is considered to have different camps of gopis, because he is so attractive that so many gopis love him. And especially the two most important gopis that are in the camps is, one is Radharani, and on the other side is, anybody else knows? Chandravali. So Krishna sometimes goes to the Kunja. Kunja means like a forest bower. It's like a nice natural room that is created. It's called a Kunja. So Krishna spends some time with Chandravali Sakhi, and he's supposed to meet Radharani at a certain time, but he is not showing up. And that happens quite often, and that actually makes Radharani more anxious, and that makes her more and more angry also. So one time when Krishna went to the Kunja of Chandravali, he did not go to Radharani's Kunja, and Radharani then finally told Lalita and Vishaka that he is that Shyam Sundar. And now again, they are using very tough language, that cheater Shyam Sundar, he is not here. Can you send your duty, your messenger, to find out where he is? I have decorated this kunja so beautifully, so nicely, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and he's not here yet. So then Vishaka sends out one messenger, one of the younger gopis, to find out. So that younger gopi is smart, and she goes in that direction of Chandravali's kunja. And then Chandravali's messenger says, "Hey, Shyam Sundar is not coming tonight. Go tell your mistress. She is my mistress, Chandravali." So then that duty is also known as Manjari. What is it known as? Manjari. That Manjari goes back to the Kunja of Radharani and tells Vishaka. Vishaka and Lalita are the two best friends of Radharani. There is a circle of gopis. Gopis has even a different circle. There is an inner circle and it expands just like a lotus flower. Like a lotus flower. There is Radha Krishna in the center. So, this Krishna, Krishna and Radha and Krishna are the center of the lotus world. And then if you see a flower, any flower you see, there is whorls. There is a concentric circle and it expands. So it expands with different gopis. So there is the 2 and then there is 6 more. So total 8 gopis in the inner circle, then 16. Then like that it expands to 32, 64. And the gopis are assisted by other younger gopis. They are known as Manjaris. They are assisted in Krishna's Leela. And so this duty, Manjari, Dyuti means messenger. Dut, you have heard the word Dut, right, in Hindi?
Yeah.
Dut means messenger. And Dyuti is a female. So this Dyuti goes back and tells Vishakha, the chief friend, along with Lalita, that Shyam Sundar is not coming. I got the message. Chandravali he's going to spend the evening there. So Radharani is extremely upset. She's so upset. So this is the excitement that Krishna is creating within the heart of Radharani. It's very special. That excitement that she's creating, that separation that he is creating in the bhav, in the heart of Radharani, that out of separation she is burning more and more, and the more she is burning, the more intense she wants to meet Krishna. Is it not true? Sometimes when you fight with a person, actually that fight and that speaking loudly and actually even saying harsh words is actually out of pure love. We all have experienced. There are two kinds of fights. One is an external fight and one is an internal fight, and that screaming, even sometimes slapping, all these things happens, right? Like for example, I'll tell you, when I used to play cricket in college days and in school days, sometimes I used to break my arm. I was a wicket keeper, and I knew where to go to fix my bones. So there was a bone setter in Bombay. It took only 5 rupees. He would crack my bones, and then he would tie the thing, and I would come home with the bandage. And the first thing my mother would do is slap me. What did you do? And then she would cry. So the thing is, that's one form of love. Get the point? When I'm giving these little examples, we can understand. So Krishna wants to enhance. The reason why he is actually going and extending his stay with Chandravali is because he wants to enhance the love of Radharani. He actually wants to highlight the love of Radharani. He wants to even make her intense. So in a short session like this, it's extremely difficult for me to describe these pastimes, but I'm hoping that you all will understand the essence of what I'm trying to say. Amongst the gopis, the topmost gopi or the Radharani is considered the number one personality who is actually a part of Krishna, who is non-different from Krishna. And how I can explain Radharani is in a very simple language or terms is, let's say we have one person, right? Let's say it's me. If we can, by some magic, I have also different moods. Like we all have moods, right?
Yes.
There is a happy mood, there is an angry mood, there is a sad mood, there is the humorous mood. So, can you imagine that these personalities that are existing in me, if one can take out the personality of happiness, like let's say by some magic power, that happiness personified comes out of me. That is what Radharani is to Krishna. Radharani is the Haladini Shakti. Ahlad means in Sanskrit, if you translate that into English, means joy or bliss. So that personality, personified person, just like supposing if I'm playing notes, okay? So let's say sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. So these are actually in the heavenly planets, there are personalities that are actually known as sa. There's a rag known as sa. Person, like I can touch you, right? So I can say, hello Mr. Sa, how are you? Or hello Mrs. Ray, how are you? The persons. Everything in the Vedic culture is personalism. So Radharani is actually Krishna personified as the happiness, as his personal happiness. If in one line, if I can describe this, coming back, so Radharani is who?
Aladini.
The Aladini or the, if somebody asks you, who is Radharani? Somebody tell me in one line, who is Radharani?
Aladini Shakti.
Aladini Shakti, theek hai, but what is, if somebody asks, what is Aladini Shakti?
Happiness of Krishna.
Happiness.
Pleasure potency.
The pleasure personality of Krishna. So Krishna cannot stay without that pleasure. Krishna cannot stay without that pleasure. That is the reason Radharani is the topmost gopi, which gives the complete and the full pleasure to Krishna. Nobody can give as much pleasure to Krishna as Srimati Radharani.
So we can say she's part and parcel of him.
No, she is the Swarup Shakti.
So she's not the ansh of Krishna.
No, she is not Ansha. She is Swarup.
Okay.
She is Haladini Swarup of Krishna. She is the Haladini Swarup of Krishna. So, I am trying to explain this. What is the position of Srimati Radharani? So, Radharani is so high. So, Krishna actually wants to glorify Radharani. That her love is incomparable. And that is why he creates all these other auxiliary pastimes just to create that mood of Radharani. So that sulkiness or that anger of Radharani is called man. What is it called? Man. Let me explain this a little bit further. The different stages of bhakti and Krishna Prem. I've explained this before and I will repeat this again as one of the fundamental things. Everybody can repeat after me. Ado Shraddha. First we have faith. Because of faith, we go to the temple or we come to a satsang and we meet devotees. And what is the result of faith? Tatha sadho sang. We meet good people, we meet sadhus, we meet saints, we meet devotees. True or not?
Yes.
And then due to what is the next effect of sadhu sang? The next effect of sadhu sangha is bhajana kriya. What is bhajan kriya? Sadhus will tell you, if you want your spiritual life to improve, then you do this
Bhajan.
and you don't do this. Like for example, Prabhupada said very simple. What are the do's? Chant the holy name. Mahaprabhu said very simple. There are 5 things that Mahaprabhu has propagated to make our life spiritual. We should always chant the holy name, read scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. We should always do Archana Vigraha, meaning we have to have a DT in the house or a photograph and we do Upasana, Archa Vigraha, Puja, right? And then we also do Mathura Vas or going to the different places of pilgrimage. That is right? So these are the different methods that have been, and the holy name, chant the holy name of course. So these are the different methods that are prescribed. So Prabhupada and our acharyas have also said the same thing. Like a good doctor, we are diseased right now. Our condition, material condition means like a diseased patient. So when a diseased patient goes to a good doctor, the good doctor knows what is best for the patient. So the doctor will prescribe, okay, you take these medications, you do this, and then you don't do these things. So if you have diarrhea, doctor will say, I'm giving you this strong medication, it will help you fast, but don't eat pakoras or don't eat anything heavy. True or not? Do's and don'ts. So similarly, our acharyas have explained to improve our spiritual life. What are the do's? I just explained those things. Associating with devotees, chanting the holy name, reading scriptures like Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, doing Archa Vigraha, and try to go to the spiritual dhams, to the different places of pilgrimage. Those are the do's. What are the don'ts? Don'ts are, there are 4. And Prabhupada called them 4 regulative principles. What are they?
4 regulative.
But 4 regulative principles of freedom. So everybody say that. Some keywords today, phrases that I hope you all will remember. They are called the 4 regulative principles of freedom. Freedom means what? Freedom from Maya. Freedom from this. From this again taking birth into a material body. Freedom from this material world and taking us to the spiritual world. What are those 4 things that we are not supposed to do? Everybody say that. Not that Prabhupada got a dream and he said you stop doing this stuff. Striyam, Dyutam, Panam, Shunam, Yatra, Adharma, Chaturvida. This is Prabhupada is quoting from Adi Parva Mahabharata. Striyam means opposite sex out of marriage. Dyutam means gambling. Shunam means meat eating. And Panam means intoxication. These 4 things, Yatra, these. Chaturvida, these 4 things are dharma. They are against the religious principles. Do's and don't do's for our spiritual benefit. Right? So, coming back to our original subject, that Srimati Radharani is the topmost devotee of Krishna because she is Krishna Swarup, Haladini Swarup. And she is the one that Krishna always wants to glorify, because we want to learn from Srimati Radharani what bhakti is. What makes Krishna happy is the highest pinnacle of happiness is Sri Radha, and how to follow in her footsteps of bhakti. That is the main principle of us Gaudiya Vaishnavas. There are different types of Vaishnavas in different types of devotees of the Lord. Like I said, somebody loves to be a part of the Lord's life as a das, as a shantras, as a different types of rasas in Vaikuntha, but somebody wants to be in the inner circle of Krishna and Radharani, then the school has got a special school. Just like we study different subjects, even within engineering or computer science, there are specialized subjects. So the specialized subject that our acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, that we stand for, is what we know as the rasa of the Ragamarg, or the rasa of the gopis, the love of the gopis. So there's nothing wrong if you want to stay a servant of Lord Ramachandra or Lord Narayana, or you want to just be like a yogi and you want to meditate on the different forms of the Lord. That's fine, perfect. But there are different schools of specialization, and our specialty of Srila Prabhupada and the acharyas that they come, we are called as Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradayas, because Lord Brahma is the head from which this sampradaya started, and then it was passed down to Madhvacharya, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this line of Madhvacharya, and it came directly as 32nd in succession to Srila Prabhupada. And of course, to the other god brothers of Srila Prabhupada, which is known as the Gaudiya Math. If you go to Mayapur, if you go to Vrindavan, there is many Gaudiya Maths that are exactly which of the same principle that are being taught by Srila Prabhupada. Because ISKCON is an offshoot of the Gaudiya Math. Gaudiya Math never existed, ISKCON never existed before 1965. Actually 1966. Officially ISKCON was formed in 1966 in New York. But Prabhupada called it International Society of Krishna Consciousness because it's the Western world. They would never understand what Gaudiya Math will be. As a matter of fact, somebody said that why don't you call it International Society of God Consciousness? So you'll get a lot more people. So Prabhupada said, no, Krishna, most appropriate name of God is Krishna. So that is why we will call it International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So that is the conviction. So anyways, coming back. So when we want to go in this special school, trying to be in the home of Krishna, and trying to not only be in the home of Krishna, but we want to be in a situation where we want to be students of the greatest of the devotees, meaning the gopis, and we want to be a student or a servant of Srimati Radharani, then we have to take shelter of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas. Because they are none other than gopis themselves, or manjaris, in their spiritual identity. Everybody has a spiritual identity. When we leave our bodies and when we get our perfection, just like right now, my identity is what? To my parents, I am Satchit Desai. Or to the spiritual community in ISKCON, I am known as Satchitananda Das. Right? Or terms of endearment that sometimes Anjali uses. That is my identity. Alright? But my identity, when I am completely purified, or when you are completely purified, or when you are completely purified, and when you leave this body, and when perfection comes, and when we enter Golok or Vaikuntha, we get a special spiritual identity there, which is our eternal body. It will not change. And that is what our service and our specific seva will be. So, coming back to this little pastime of Mahaprabhu, how Mahaprabhu came about. So, when Radharani is extremely, and I was telling Ado Shraddha, Tato Sadho Sangha, next stage is Bhajana Kriya, the sadhus tell you bhajan, do this, don't do this. We were talking about that. The next stage after that is Anartha Nivritti. Please everybody say that. Anartha Nivritti means when we practice the spiritual things that are being advised of a good spiritual doctor, do's and don'ts, then our health will improve. And when means our spiritual health improves means all the anarthas, the baggage that we have for many, many lifetimes, and the different concepts that we have, nonsense that we have gathered in our hearts and our minds, will slowly, completely come to a stop. Anartha. Those are called anarthas. Some other time, if there is enough time, I will explain. Their details are given by Thakur Bhakti Vinod. There are 4 principal anarthas, and within each anartha there are 4 subcategories. But right now this is not the time and place, because that alone is a big class by itself. So just remember, anartha means all that is an impediment to your spiritual life. Those are known as?
Impediment to your spiritual.
Those are known as anarthas. Impediments to your spiritual life are known as, in Sanskrit they are known as anarthas. So these impediments to our spiritual life, when we do bhajana kriya, they will be removed. So what is the next stage after bhajana kriya? After bhajana kriya, the next stage is nishtha. We are fixed in Krishna consciousness. One god brother of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, somebody asked him this question, and I happened to come across this article. He asked, can you tell me what nishtha means? He was explaining the same things that I am speaking. So he says, nishtha is that even if you want to forget about Krishna, you cannot forget. That stage of life, even if you want to forget about Krishna, you will not be able to forget it. That is nishtha. Then the next stage comes is ruchi. Ruchi means real taste. Taste in Krishna consciousness, taste in Krishna seva. You don't have to hit yourselves 100 times in the head to wake up to do your puja. Or you're feeling lazy today. No. As a matter of fact, that ruchi comes that when will early morning come, and when will I wake up and run to the bathroom, take my bath and start chanting my rounds, and when will I finish my seva, and when will I cook this for the Lord, and when will I do that? That true ruchi. And which my grandmother had. I'm not because she's my grandmother, but I could tell from which, of course, acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, they slept only 2 hours. That is because of ruchi. Real taste in service. Prabhupada translated books all night. When everybody went to sleep, he was translating. And then early in the morning, as an acharya, he had not only his personal sadhana of chanting the holy name, but because he's an acharya, he has to set an example. So he did his 16 rounds as well. And then he went for his morning walk, preaching. Then coming back to the temple, Aarti, Bhagavatam class, and then all day dealing with all the affairs, with sometimes the nonsense also that the young boys and girls did not know how to do the affairs or manage this con. Sometimes they got cheated because the builder who was going to build, they gave him the wrong price of the cement to build the temple, or the bricks was stolen, or the land was being grabbed and the paperwork was not done. So most of the day he used to spend in these two. Then he had to even go preach to the people then he used to give darshan to the guests wherever he was. Personalities used to come, business people from all walks of life. Can you imagine? That is ruchi. Then the next stage after ruchi is asakti. Asakti means when you are completely attached to your seva. So much asakti means, right now we are asakt to, but asakt to material things. And asakti here means asakt to complete spiritual. Attachment to spiritual things only. Asakti. Then the next stage comes is bhav. Please try to understand these stages. Even if you can't remember, at least you will get some idea about the different levels and where we stand. Bhav stage is when we are revealed who we are in Krishna Seva, even in this body. So imagine we are doing our practice so nicely, and when we come to the stage of Bhav, then that Bhav stage is revealed of what our Seva to Krishna is, what we will be eventually doing in the spiritual world. Then comes the stage of Prem, Krishna Prem. And then Krishna Prem has different stages. Please try to understand why I am explaining this. I haven't even started Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu will come into the picture very shortly. Please be patient. Then the next stage comes in Krishna Prem. That is a very high stage. The love of Krishna. It's such a very high stage. Then the first stage of Krishna Prem is Sneh. And that Sneh is categorized as that kind of love that Mother Yashoda has for Krishna. Then the next stage after that is Man, which we are talking about right now. That Radharani is sulky mood. She is showing, now I don't want to see that rascal Shyam Sundar. She uses those words. Even when he comes in, don't let him come in. But internally she wants to see him desperately. Remember, coming back to that pastime, where the Devotee comes back, the messenger, Gopi, probably one of our acharyas themselves, comes back and tells Vishakhaji, he's not coming. I just got that confirmation. Message goes to Radharani, and Radharani immediately, she starts crying and she's angry. What does he think of himself? And I decorated this kunja for him, and he just doesn't care. And all this mumbling. We all know what the mumbling of a wife is, right? Etc. Or husband also. Why should I just make it one-sided? But internally, that is called man. Where she is, bolte na bhav. Now I don't want him. Let him suffer. Even if he comes, don't open the doors of my kunja. Don't let him in. Guard my gate. Make sure he won't come in. I don't want to see his face. Man. Then after that, the stage of pranaya comes. And then even within there, personally, I don't remember. There are so many bifurcations there about the prem. And there are two kinds of love. Even within love, there is love in separation and there is love in union. Please try to understand. That is also a very important subject. Especially when we are in this school. I'm bringing you to the school of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Like I said, there are different schools of engineering, of computer science. Now we have specialty. I'm describing the specialty of this school that we are in. So this school is describing the moods of how to serve Srimati Radharani. How to serve Radhaji. So Radhaji now is in a sulky mood, and right now she is in separation of Krishna. Because Krishna is not physically present. It is known as Viyog. And there are different types of Viyog. Like when Akrur came and took Krishna and Balram to Mathura, the entire Gokul Vrindavan went into Viyog. Separation. Separation and union are two parts of love. And our Gaudiya school explains that the separation love is higher than the union. The Viyog is higher than, and if we think about it for a moment, how is it high? The person that you don't meet for many years or for many days, your love for that person increases. Is it true or not? Practical example. You go to your country and you meet your best friend after 15 years, or even sometimes people meet their parents after 10 years, 15 years. In the airport only you will hear screams. From far, the moment they see you, and tears will roll from your eyes, and words will not come out from your mouth. Your throat will be choked. Right? So there is union and separation. So our Gaudiya Vaishnavas especially, they specialize in separation. Prema. The prema of separation. Nama Gaur Kishoraya Shakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padam Bhujayate Namaha. Vipralamba. Vipralamba means separation. That is one of the pranam mantras of our gurus. Prabhupada's guru's guru. Gaur Kishoraya Babaji Maharaj. Deep separation. Service in separation. So, Radharani separation. So then pranaya, after man, pranaya, then there is ruda, adhiruda, and then there is bhav. Bhav in prem, not that bhav that I explained earlier. And then the last stage or the highest stage is madhurya prem. So that madhurya prem is Radharani's prem. That madhurya prem that I am talking about right now is Radharani's prem. So, coming back to this pastime again, when finally Krishna comes, and before even Krishna comes, the rustling of the leaves, जब पत्ते हिलते हैं तो राधा रानी सोच रही है वो आ गया श्याम सुंदर मेरा. But 2 seconds ago she said, I don't want to even see him. But actually Shyam Sundar is not there. Krishna is not there yet. But she is feeling. So that is also a kind of separation. There is a separation known as pravas separation. When somebody is traveling They're different. I also forgot some terminologies in this separation. Prem Vaivachitya separation, where the person is there, finally Krishna comes, and he's not allowed. Both Lalita and Vishaka, they say, stop, we won't let you in. Our Pran Sakhi is saying, no, you can't see. You're a cheater, go back wherever you came from. So Krishna says, please let me in. I know she wants to see me. I know her heart. No, we have strict instructions not to let you in. And then Krishna falls at the feet of the gopis. Please let me in. Please let me in. He begs. This is the position of our acharyas. That's how close they are. Where even Krishna, because they are gopis in service of Radharani. They are guarding the kunja. They have specific sevas. So Krishna says, O Manjari, O Sakhi, mujhe andar jaane de. Main tere pair padu. I fall at your feet. Can you imagine the position of our acharyas, how great it is? Because they are servants of Srimati Radharani, their position is very high. So finally, to make a long story short, he is not allowed. So this Krishna, he is completely heartbroken now. And then he goes to the bank of the Jamuna and he throws his crown, he throws his uttariya on one side and he's lamenting. He puts all his hair loose and he's lamenting and rolling on the floor. And completely he's like crying out these words. He Radhe Puro Madhuripu Kaman. He Radhe Puro Madhuripu Kaman. He Radhe Puro Madhuripu Kaman. Oh Radhe, please fulfill my desire. Please fulfill my desire. Let me come see you. Come, let me. So now what happens in Vraj? See, Vraj is amazing, especially Golok Vrindavan. Everything that happens in the Vaikuntha Loka and the spiritual planets, there is one Maya there also. Can you believe that? There is Maya in this material world, but there is one Maya, they are called as Yoga Maya. Try to remember this. What is it? What is that Maya called? Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is the one personality along with Vrinda Devi, Tulsi Devi, Vrinda Devi. They are preparing a special magical effect, not only on Krishna himself but on all the other devotees also, like a spell, like somebody hypnotizes, right? Like supposing if I hypnotize Murli, forget it that you are Murli. Imagine you are a king Murli. So Murli starts behaving like a king. You know, hypnotists, how they do that. So the Yoga Maya's job is to hypnotize Krishna and Krishna's devotees to enhance their pastimes. Yoga Maya creates such an environment that Krishna even forgets that he is the Supreme Lord, and especially makes all the devotees also forget that he is the Supreme Lord. Like Mother Yashoda. Twice Mother Yashoda got to see the universes in Krishna's mouth. One everybody knows, right? When? Mitti Hai. You know what? When the first time it happened? But actually, when this is just during Damodar Leela, when Krishna was being breastfed by Mother Yashoda, and Krishna was sleepy and yawning, and at that time Mother Yashoda saw the universes. Yes. And immediately Yoga Maya came and hypnotized. Forget it. He is not the Lord. He is just your Baba. He is your Lala. That is the function of Yoga Maya. So now Yoga Maya, meaning Purnamasi, another name of Yoga Maya is, she is an old lady, old gopi in Vrindavan. She comes along with Vrinda Devi and says, what's your Shyam Sundar? What happened? We are very, very unhappy to see you in this situation. What can we do for you? So then Shyam Sundar says, this is what happened. Radharani won't see me and I want to see her. So, so don't worry. So Vrinda Devi says, but Shyam Sundar, you have to do one thing. You have to do exactly as I say and everything will be fine. So Shyam Sundar says, yes, you tell me. I am very pleased. See how Krishna is eager to meet Radharani. The entire world is trying to find Krishna in different ways. Isn't it true or not?
True.
Even material energy is Krishna's energy. People are trying to find happiness in money, in wealth, in house, in family, in different things. But it is a separated energy of Krishna. It is the Bahiranga Shakti of Krishna. Right? Everybody, and even the yogis, they want darshan of the Paramatma. Right? And even the devotees, they want the service of Krishna. Everybody is constantly trying to attain the lotus feet of Krishna. But who is Krishna trying to find? Radha. And that is the importance of this school that we are talking about, is the Gaudiya Vaishnava school. We Gaudiya Vaishnavas are not servants of Krishna. We are servants of Srimati Radharani, primarily. That they don't tell you. Because everybody thinks, oh, this is too complicated. This is too high subject. People will not understand it. Why will people not understand if we try to make them understand? Krishna Bhakti Sabhu Kabu Nae, Shravan Adi Chitte Karoye Uday. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Krishna Bhakti is not supposed to be, it doesn't come from outside. Everybody has it in their heart. Shravan, by listening. Adi means the process that our acharyas explain. Shravan Adi, Hridaye, within the heart, it is manifest. Everybody has it. Krishna Bhakti is there in everybody's heart. In our movement, sometimes people say, there are new people, we should not sing Vaishnava bhajans. They will not understand. Sing only Mahamantra. How will you understand the heart of a true Vaishnava unless and until you sing Vaishnava bhajans? Unless and until you know how they pray to Krishna, unless and until how they pray to Radharani for their service. How will you know what Krishna likes to eat? How many of us know the Bhoga Arti? There are so many different Bhoga Artis, but one of them is popular, that is in our songbook. But how many people sing it? When you sit in front of the Lord, next time do that if you can. Even if you don't know the Rag. Bhaja Bhagata Vatsala Shri Gaura Hari. It's in the ISKCON songbook. Thakur Bhakti Ani has written all the different items that Krishna likes. How Yashoda Maya is calling Nandere Nideshe Vaisi Giridhari. Girdhari sits on the lap of Nanda Baba. Come, Krishna, it's time to take your lunch. And then all the different items that Krishna loves, it is there. Because they, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Prabhupada, these are all different gopis, manjaris in Radharani Seva. They know exactly what Krishna likes. And they describe it. Now, unless and until we don't study these things, we don't know about it, how can we even aspire? That's my point. Shall we remain new for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years, 30 lifetimes? We will always remain new if we are not given the opportunity. That's my point. So, again, coming back to the Leela. So, Vrinda Devi, along with Purnamasi, is telling Krishna, you have to do exactly as we say. Please, I will do. I want to see Radha. So everybody is running after Krishna and Krishna is running after Radha. Right? Krishna, one of the names of Krishna is Madan Mohan. What is the name? Madan Mohan. Madan means Kamdev. And Mohan means one who enchants Kamdev. Kamdev is supposed to be very beautiful, very handsome, very beautiful. The personality Kamdev or Cupid is very handsome, very beautiful. In the material world, in the heavens, Cupid is the most beautiful. But Madan Mohan means one who even enchants Cupid. The beauty of Krishna is so beautiful that even it enchants Madan, meaning Kamdev. Even Kamdev, who is so beautiful, is attracted by the beauty of Krishna. Navanira Nindita Kanti Dharam Rasosagar Nagar Bhupavaram Shubhavanki Macharu Shikhanda Shikim Bhaja Krishna Nidhim Vraja Rajasutam. Beauty of Krishna is so beautiful. So this Krishna is and one of the names of Radharani is Madan Mohan Mohini. So one who enchants Cupid is called Madan Mohan, and one who enchants Madan Mohan, Krishna, is Radharani, Madan Mohan Mohini. So what I was saying is, he says, Krishna says, okay, I will do what you say. So Vrinda Devi says, Krishna, you have to forget your beautiful crown. You have to forget your peacock feather. You have to forget your flute. All of these things. And you have to even shave your beautiful curly locks of hair. And you have to take out this pitambar that you are wearing and you have to wear the saffron dress. Are you ready to do that? So he says, yes, anything for Radharani to meet her. So Krishna shaves his head and he becomes a monk in saffron, and he goes to the kunja and he starts singing, and he says, I will teach you one song. Vrinda Devi tells Krishna, I will teach you this song, and you sing this when you reach the kunja of Radharani. So he sings this song. Now, Krishna, did you miss it or you heard?
No, I missed it.
You miss it, okay. So Vrinda Devi tells Krishna, are you ready to do exactly as I say? So Krishna says, yes, anything for Radharani. I want to meet her. Please arrange it. So he says, okay, you have to forget your crown and the peacock feather. Done. Already you have thrown it away. You have to forget your flute. Done. You have to take out your fine silken pitambar and wear the saffron clothes. Done. And not only that, your beautiful curly hair, that also you have to cut and shave. Vritam kuntalai the snigdha. In Damodarashtakam, so describe the beauty of Krishna's hair. Muhus chumbitam bimba rakta dharam me. Mother Yashoda constantly kisses the Krishna, and Vritam kuntalai snigdha. His hair is curly and he's got a tinge of reddish. Rakta. Rakta means red. Krishna's hair has a slight hue of reddish and it's beautiful. You have to cut your beautiful hair also. Will you do that? Yes, I'll do that. And Krishna shaves his head, wears saffron, and he says, I'm going to give you one song that you learn, and you sing that when you reach outside the kunja, and I will give you one kanjri. Kanjri is like one of those, that ek tar ka jo hota hai na. I will give you kanjri and you sing this song. So, and I don't remember the exact song, the words, but the essence of the song is that I am a lover of prem. I am a lover of prem. Prem is the thing that I only desire. And you just sing this continuously. So he starts singing that and he approaches the kunja. And then the gopis see that a nice sadhu is coming this way. They give him respect. And then Lalita and Vishaka hear this sadhu. And this sadhu, he says, maybe, this sadhu can tell us why our Radharani is always like this, especially in separation. Right now she's crying so much. Her tears have actually flooded the kunja. And maybe he can tell when Shyam Sundar will come and when her misery will be mitigated. So he says, Sadhu Baba, come here. Sannyasi Baba. So and then they call him. He says that, can you, our pran sakhi, our life air friend, pran sakhi, if you translate it in English, is very, very, maybe you can tell what is going on. He says, yeah, I can try. No problem, but I have to see her. This is that she does not see any male. No, not possible. So what are you talking about? I am a sadhu, main to chala, I am leaving then. I am a sadhu, I have no attraction for females. No, don't go. So then they take this sadhu, Krishna in the form of sadhu to the kunja, and Radharani has her veil there. So she says, can you see her hand? He said, no. Hands cannot tell you anything perfectly. I have to see the lines on the face. So that veil has to come out. Chaliya. So he tricks Radharani into that. And the moment the veil comes out and they meet each other's eyes, that moment they know that this is Krishna. And their union happens. Now, this enactment that happened in Golok actually is basically Mahaprabhu himself, that sannyasi. In the separation of Radharani, he decided to do, and actually Vishaka had actually cursed him that you have made our Radharani, my Pransaki, cry day and night sometimes. You will also cry day and night. So Krishna is now Bhakta Vatsal and Bhakta Vasya here. He took the curse of Vishaka Sakhi and he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, appeared in Gaurdesh. And how he appeared, it's very interesting. Actually, That time, about 500 years ago, we are talking about the year 1480s. Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486, according to the English calendar. 1486. But Advaita Acharya, just like when Krishna appears for a particular purpose, he already sends his associates ahead of time. Like if you read Bhagavatam 10th canto or even the Krishna book, Prabhupada very nicely describes the translation of the 10th canto, that he already sends his associates to be born in the Yadu dynasty. Huh? The different Devi Devatas are already told when they did the Purusha Sukta in the Sir Sagar. Then Shirodaksai Vishnu tells that don't worry, I will come as Krishna will come and he will mitigate the problems of Kamsa. But before that, prior to that, you all take birth. So already a background. So every time when Krishna comes, in whatever form it is, he already sends his associates. So Nityananda Prabhu had already appeared in Ek Chakragram, which is in West Bengal. Advaita Acharya had already appeared in Shantipur, and he was a very old, very learned Pandit, scholar, great Vaishnava. And at that time, in Bengal especially, Vaishnavism had become extinct almost. The worship of Shakta, Devi, Chandi Upasana was very prominent. And people were wasting their time even on simple, stupid things like getting their cats married. And they did not even bother about Krishna. Everything was lost. So Advaita Acharya actually, who is a compassion, who is Mahavishnu himself, he comes as Advaita Acharya, and he actually sat on the bank of Ganga and he was worshipping his Shaligram with Tulsi and Ganga water. And he simply worshipped and tears streamed out of his eyes. And he called out to the name of Mahaprabhu, Hari, Hari, Gaur Hari, please come, please come. This age of Kali Yuga has gone so bad that nobody is taking the name of the Lord. And it is now that it is time for you to come, please. So, Advaita Acharya pleases Krishna from Golok and he offers the Ganges water. Already Sachi Mata and Father Jagannath Mishra ji and Nilambar Chakravarti, the maternal grandfather of, they all had appeared. And they are basically none other than Nanda Baba and Yashoda Mai or the Vasudeva and Devaki. So they had appeared already and the background was set. But he gave a lot of credit to Advaita Acharya because it is through him, his mercy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually Krishna descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the house of Jagannath Mishra. At that time, Mahaprabhu did not come out for, it is said, for 13 months. Yes. And just like Sukadeva Goswami, he stayed in his mother's womb, I think, for 17 years. He didn't want to come out.
17 years.
17 years. Yes, and Krishna personally told him that you come out now. Don't, because he was worried that he would be caught into Maya. He didn't want to come out. So actually Sachi Mata, who is the mother of she gave birth to 8 sisters prior to that. But they all died by the will of Providence. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita basically is the meaning of Chaitanya is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Charit Amrita. Charita means biography and Amrita means nectar. So that is one book that was compiled by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami on the banks of Radhakund. At the age of 95, he compiled this book. When he compiled this book on the order and the request of the Rajvasis, especially the Haridas Pandit of Govind Devji temple, who was one of the prominent Vaishnavas at that time, and under the order of Nityananda Prabhu, he compiled this on the bank, and he says, my hands are shivering and I cannot see. But somehow or the other, it is Govind Devji and Madan Mohanji making me write this composition. I have no qualification. I am worse than a worm in stool. That is my position. How humble they are. But somehow or the other, and I have no capacity to describe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Actually, real glories go to Vrindavan Das Thakur, who is actually the real compiler of the biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Murari Gupta. I am just basically trying to elaborate some points where they, because it's too extensive a work, some things that they did not elaborate, I am elaborating on. That is the proper Vaishnava etiquette. Chapter starts, he always starts, Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda, Jai, or Jai Jai Shri. So he always glorifies. And Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur actually is one of a great personality. He is actually Vyasadeva, the compiler of Vedas. He came as Vrindavan Das Thakur. So if you go to Mayapur, please go to Vrindavan Das Thakur's house. There is a tourism office in the temple. They will book you a taxi and they will take you to all these places. Bhakti Vinod's house in Surbi Kunj, in Godrumdeep, and there are so many nice places that you can go. But don't miss this place. This is a very special place. Even today, if you go there to Vrindavan Das Thakur's house, there's a nice temple, very simple Gaudiya Mutt. Devotees are staying there and they're serving so nicely. Mataji, I tell you, very, very simple. I mean, sometimes my heart is torn when I see such devotees. I wish I had so much money that I can give them everything that I have. That is the feeling that I get to them. These are the devotees who really deserve some Lakshmi. They are crying because they need to, because if you see, sometimes when we go to some places, we see the bhav that these devotees have. You see the way the deities are dressed. They are not even in proper clothes. Their clothes are tattered. That is the place where they need the service the most. And I always encourage myself and I always tell others, please give there generously as well. You know, because sometimes when we give even like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 to a very big institution, it is just like a drop in the bucket. But even if you give them 500 rupees, oh my God, they're crazy. For them, even a 500 rupee note or a 1,000 rupee note is like, it's like unseen in many years. Something like that, you know. And these are the ones who really do real good bhajan.
They need very badly.
They need really badly. Champahati is another place. Gaur Gadadhar temple is there. Nityanand Prabhu and Gaur there. So anyways, you know, these are the places that really, and when you go there, you will feel the vibration there. That you will feel it. Vrindavan Das Thakur's place is amazing. It's in Mamgachi. That place, now I remember. So anyways, coming back to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he has written these wonderful pastimes. And he is such a wonderful Vaishnava. He doesn't overstep other Vaishnavas. Lot of in today's modern world, there are so many sadhus and sons, they want to write books. They want to write books. But they want to give their own philosophy. They don't want to really expound on what, like Prabhupada, all his books as it is. He never took credit for them. He has only expounded on what the acharyas have explained. That is proper writing. That is humility. That is humility. That's why last week when you all came, some of you, to the when we had that program, Sri Vallabhacharya had a little puffed up attitude with Mahaprabhu. He said, I have written a commentary on Bhagavatam. Can you read it please? Mahaprabhu said no. Oh, I have actually, he says, refuted Sridhar Swami. Can you imagine somebody saying, I refute Sridhar Swami on Bhagavatam? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very displeased. He says, Swami, Sridhar Swami. And I forget the verse in Bengali. He says, Swami re, one who is actually, Swami means husband. And one who goes against the husband is a prostitute. Vaivicharini. So, should we be prostitutes or should we be the chaste wives of the attitude of our acharyas? That's what is important. People write books for name and fame also. They write those things. Yes, there is some inspiration. But the thing is, how much of it is there based on what has been given and how much they are expounding on that. Anyways, so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is sitting on the bank of Radhakund. He is almost legally blind, but somehow or the other his hands are shivering, and he compiled this voluminous Chaitanya Charitamrita that is divided into 3 khandas. It is known as Adi Leela or 3 Leela. Leelas means past. Adi Leela, Madhya Leela and Anta Leela. So Adi Leela describes the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was a child. His birth to his Pauganda and then Kaumar age when he was going to school. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually when he appeared on a full moon night, and when he appeared that actually, don't forget by the way, please fast up to moonrise on the 22nd. Okay, just like in Janmashtami we fast until midnight, right? Don't we?
Yes.
And also, please take Ekadashi Prasad, not ordinary Prasad. Very important. On any appearances and disappearances of the Lord, then it is called Madhav Tithi. It is called Madhav Tithi. Like for example, now I think when is 15th April is next after the Ram Navami. So that is also known as Madhav Tithi. So even on Ram Navami day, fasting is until noon. And again, if you want to really do your proper way, then it has to be Ekadashi Prasadam. Yes. That is an austerity, in other words.
Purnima, you don't take anything until moonrise.
Yes, and after moonrise, you take Ekadashi Prasad.
Not even water.
You try not to, but again, it depends on the health of a person. And if you cannot, then there is no harm. You can still take Ekadashi Prasad during the day. Or fruits or milk. But it is Ekadashi Prasad. That is the proper system. Now, people may be doing whatever, sometimes even certain temples don't follow that. That doesn't mean that our acharyas did not. I am giving you as is what our acharyas did. That's the important thing. Because sometimes I hear these arguments, in temples they make everything, they make puris, they make kachoris, they make this. Fine. But there are certain temples who follow Prabhupada very strictly, who follow Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj very strictly, they follow our Gaudiya acharyas very strictly. So, that's what we should look at. Right? We should look at what is the proper system. Anyways, so, and again, we are not saying that you have to, if you can do Nirjala, you do Nirjala. If you cannot, like even Janmashtami, many people can do, some people cannot. Then you take water. If you cannot sustain with water, take milk. If milk, take fruits. If not, at least take Ekadashi Prasad. That's what we are saying. That is recognized. You can still get the fruit of your Tithi. That is known as Madhav Tithi. Thakur Bhakti says, Madhav Tithi Bhakti Janani Jotane Palana Kori. Shuddha Bhagata Charana Renu. In that bhajan, if you read, this line comes, Madhav Tithi. All these Tithis are known as Madhav Tithi. Madhav Tithi, Jotone Palana Kari. With great enthusiasm, I will follow these Tithis. Madhav Tithi, Bhakti Janani. And these Tithis are the mothers of devotion. Devotion, mother. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually he appeared full moon night, and when he appeared, he was actually from Shantipur. Advaita Acharya's wife Sita Mata came, and everybody saw such a beautiful golden child. That is why he is known as Gauranga. He is known as Gauranga. Now the complexion Gaurang, how did the complexion come Gaurang? The reason of this Gaurang complexion, Krishna is blackish, right? True?
Yeah.
And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Krishna, and Krishna taking the combination and the mood of Radharani. Now this is very important. I'm trying to give you some more philosophy here. Very important. What is Mahaprabhu? It's not something that some people consider in India as a saint. No, he's just not a saint. He is Krishna. He is Krishna, but in his Audharya form. Audharya means the most munificent or the most magnanimous form. We say these mantras, Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. Right? He is the ocean of compassion. Karuna ke Sindhu hai. Deena Bandhu Jagatpate, and he is the friend of the fallen, and he is the master of the worlds. Right? But how compassionate he is, he has shown it in as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please, very important. The main philosophy is coming now. He comes as Mahaprabhu to give compassion that no other avatar has given. That no other avatar has given. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. He has a level of compassion, and he gave Arjun that message. And Arjun surrendered to Krishna eventually, and he did exactly as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. When Krishna spoke most of the Bhagavad Gita, then at that time Arjun is telling Krishna that I have understood what you have said now. Tvat prasadad maya achyuta gata sandeha. All my illusions and doubts have been removed. Tvat prasadat maya achyuta. It is by your mercy, O Krishna. Karishye vachanam tavaha. I will do exactly as you tell me. So Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. Arjun acted based on Krishna's desire. That is bhakti. Arjun did not act on the karma yoga basis. He acted on bhakti yoga basis. Although Krishna tried to explain the different types of processes of yoga, but ultimately he acted on bhakti. Bhakti means anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Please everybody repeat. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam. Whatever Krishna's desire is, when you perform that, that is true bhakti. So Krishna says, cut the head of Dronacharya. Do it now. No, I can't do it. He is my guru. Cut the head of Bhishma Dev. I can't do it. He is like my great-grandsire, great-grandfather. Kripacharya, I don't want to do it. And he sat down. But eventually when Bhagavad Gita reached a certain level, Arjuna understood. And he says, no, I will do exactly as you say, Krishna. Now I am ready to fight. If you want me to give you Dronacharya's head, I will give it to you. Because it is your desire, Krishna. That is bhakti. That is the definition of bhakti. Anukulina Krishna Anushilana. And how do we know what we are doing is right? It is because if we are able to read the instructions of our acharyas and they tell you what to do and what not to do. And then you will see when that pleasure comes, and if you have a living guru who is of that great stature, when he is pleased, you will see that Krishna is pleased. It's expressed through guru or through Vaishnavas. Sometimes when you are even cooking or when you are singing or you are doing a particular seva, and when you see the Vaishnavas are very pleased, then you can tell that Krishna is pleased. When they take that prasad, or when you're singing, or you're doing a nice shringar of Thakurji, and they say, oh, Thakurji is so pretty today, amazingly beautiful. Then we see that your seva that you have done, actually Krishna is expressing it through the Vaishnavas. Krishna may not come directly to us and tell us, but this is how our acharyas tell us whether your seva is pleasing to Krishna or not. Anukulena Krishna Anushilana. So, coming back to the point, where was I? In the Leela? Why is he Gauranga? Why is he Gauranga, I was saying. But prior to that, what was I saying? I'm connecting all the topics. No, I'm sorry. I was talking about the seva, Anukulena, what is bhakti? I was talking about Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to Krishna, to Arjun by Krishna because Arjun was his friend. Krishna clearly says in the Bhagavad Gita, Priyo Asmi, Sakha Asmi, you are my friend, I am saying it. So, and he gave the instruction of Bhagavad Gita through his book to all of us. Right? And he left it there. And he said that surrender to me and I will take care of all your pap, all your reactions. Surrender to me only. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Now, where Krishna left out, he said that Arjun was very fortunate. He personally got face-to-face instructions, and we are also fortunate through his kripa, through the book scripture, Bhagavad Gita. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is even more kinder than Krishna. He personally came as a devotee to explain devotion of Krishna. Please try to understand the reasons for his appearance. There is external reasons and there are internal reasons. Right now I am explaining the external reasons of Mahaprabhu's appearance. So one of the important reasons of Mahaprabhu's appearance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga, he is known as Gauranga because he has got the molten golden complexion. Radharani's description, one of the mantras is Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. Her complexion is like Tapta Kanchan. Tapta Kanchan means molten gold. When a goldsmith is melting gold, heating it up and making it liquid gold, that is the color of Srimati Radharani. Tapta Kanchan. Tapta means molten, liquid state of gold. That is the Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. So when Mahaprabhu decided, Krishna decided to come down, Radharani said, no, I'm not letting you go alone. I know you're going to be rolling in ecstasy, you're going to go crazy, and you will be hurting yourself here and there. I'm going to wrap myself around you. And that is why that complexion is of Radharani.
Never knew this.
Yes, that is why the complexion is of Srimati Radharani. He came because Radharani insisted. And this Not that it is not given in the scripture. Scripture Bhagavatam, 11th canto, I think 5th chapter or 55th verse, I think. Krishna Varnam, everybody say this. Krishna Varnam. Boliye Krishna Varnam. Tvisha. Akrishnam. Sango. Pango. Parshadam. Krishna Varnam, Tvisha, Akrishnam, Sango, Pango, Parshadam. Prayana Sankirtana Yagyai. Bole Prayana Yajantihi Sumedashaha. Srimad Bhagavatam has given. Bhagavatam was compiled 5,000 years ago. And Mahaprabhu came about 500 years ago. So Vyasadeva had already given. That is why one should not accept, our acharyas say, anybody as the avatar of God. There has to be scriptural evidence. So many Babajis are there, they address them as Bhagwan such and such. Bhagwan this, Bhagwan that, just because they produce a little bit of some magic or they have some siddhis, they call them Bhagwan. No. PC Sarkar, a great magician, can you call him Bhagwan? No, he's a magician. Or can you call Sikhvil and Roy Bhagwan who is performing? Or what is that other magician? The other famous one. I used to love magicians, by the way. She knows. Huh? David Copperfield. Is he Bhagwan? They have some siddhis. They have some hypnotic powers. So they're not Bhagwan. Bhagwan means there has to be definite evidence. Scriptural evidence has to be there. So Krishna Varnam, Tvisha or Krishna. Please try to understand the meaning. This is what that already Vyasadeva predicted Mahaprabhu. Krishna Varnam means Krishna Varnam, one who is going to constantly chant the name of Krishna or describe Krishna. That is one meaning of Krishna Varnam. Another meaning of Krishna Varnam, Trisha Krishna means, although he is Krishna, but Trisha Krishna. Trisha means his bodily complexion is Krishna. It's not blackish. It is not blackish. Krishna. That means it is what? That means it shows. And then what is he doing? Prayana Sankirtana Yagyai. His main external objective is Sankirtan, or spreading the holy name. There are different yugas have different yagyas or the yuga dharmas. The yuga dharma in Satya Yuga was meditation. Dhayato Vishnu. Then came Treta. Tretayam Makhai. Then came Dwapar. Dwapare Paricharya Nam. And then came Kalyu. Kalotad Hari Kirtana. Like she quoted that verse from the Brihad Naradiya Puran. Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam. Kalo, in this Kalyu. Eva na asti gatiranyatha. The holy name, holy name. 3 times it is stressed. Harer Nam, Eva Kevalam. Only. Certainly. And Kevalam. That Kevalam has got a very deep meaning. Again, I don't have the time for that right now, because that has a very, very deep meaning. If I go into that, then I'll have to go into the holy name itself. But in other words, Kevalam means exclusive. When it comes to Gaudiya Vaishnavas, exclusive rendering service through holy name to Radha and Krishna. That is what it means by the word Kevalam. Exclusivity. Not to Narayana, not to any other avatars. That is the understanding of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas when we quote this mantra, Eva Kevalam. Kalo, in this age of Kali Yuga, na asti. 3 times again it has been stressed that there is no other way. Gati Ranyatha. There is no advancement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Prayana Sankirtan Yagya. He inaugurated this Sankirtan movement. And Yajanti he Sumedasha. Those who are Sumeda. Sumeda means one who's got super intelligence. Great intelligence will worship through Sankirtan movement. So those who are chanting the holy name, or at least those who want to, or those who are interested in this Sankirtan, are very intelligent. Again the word Sankirtan, what does it mean? I had explained in one of my Sishtastakam classes. Sankirtan means Samyak Kirtan iti Kirtan. Samyak means full Kirtan, which is exclusively dedicated to Radha and Krishna, not to any other avatar. That is again from our school. Now remember, we are giving a discourse today, or our understanding is based on this particular school that I am bringing you into the Gaudiya Vaishnava line. Please don't forget that. Right? We narrowed it down. From the beginning I said, I'm taking you from Vaikuntha, different planets in Vaikuntha to Goloka, and then in Goloka also different bhavas are there, or rasas, and then we are going into Madhuri Ras. We are in the school of Madhuri Ras, specialized school in the service of Radharani, in the service of Krishna. So that is the meaning of Sankirtan. Full Kirtan, fully dedicated to Radha and Krishna, and Sankirtan also means all together. Because in Kali Yuga, divided we say, divided we fall, united we stand. Or united we stand, divided we fall. To fight against Maya, it's very important that devotees should not do bhajan alone. Always try to encourage each other, meet at least once a month, or come to the temple once a week. Do not do solitary bhajan. One will fail. That is Sankirtan. Sankirtan, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada explains the meaning of Sankirtan as Sarva Uttama Bhakti Kirtan iti Sankirtan. Please say that again. Sarva Uttama.
Sarva Uttama.
Kirtan.
Kirtan.
Iti Sankirtan. Sarva Uttam means the topmost. And what is that topmost? Topmost Kirtan means the one that will take you to the lotus feet of Radha. Again coming back to our specialized school. It will take you to the lotus feet of Radharani, and eventually of course Krishna, no doubt. But first Radhaji. That is the meaning of Sankirtan. So he came prana, and those who are intelligent will understand the meaning of this Sankirtan. Sumedasha, those who are intelligent. So Mahaprabhu came, that is the external reason, to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the external reason of Mahaprabhu. It's coming and giving the Sankirtan movement. Vrindavan Das Thakur in Chaitanya Bhagavad, he starts the prayers. Ajanu lambito bhujo, kanaka udhato, Sankirtane pitaro, kamalaya Vishwambharo dvijavaro, yugadharma palo, vande jagat priya karo, karuna avtaro. Ajanu lambito bhujo. The symptoms when Sachi Mata saw, and she was telling Jagannath Mishra that when the Nimai baby started walking, he was also known as Nimai, by the way, because when he appeared under a neem tree. And Advaita Acharya's wife, Sita Thakurani, because wanted to keep away the inauspicious spirits away, that is why they, what they do is they sprinkle a little bit of water with neem leaf and then called him Nimai. That is his special name that they give because he was born under a neem tree. It is a name of endearment. That is why we even call Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nimai. And Nityananda Prabhu, shortly we call him Nitai. Nimai Nitai. Right? That is why. So when Mahaprabhu, when he started crawling a little bit and the dust of the lotus feet started falling in the ground, when she saw the different chinhas, meaning the different imprints, she called her husband Jagannath Mishra and says, look at this, I can't believe it, this is the same thing that I'm finding on the feet of our lotus feet of our child. And then Nilambar Chakravarti, who was a great astrologer, and father of Sachi Mata, he was called. And he saw that yes, this is the Supreme Lord himself. And these signs, because there are certain signs on the hands and the lotus feet of Krishna. Krishna has specific signs, Balram has specific signs, Radharani has specific signs. Different signs like a lotus. Then there is, like Balram has a sign of a hull, meaning the, what do you call that in English? Plow. Then they both have the goad, the one that they guide the elephant. Elephant को guide करने वाला एक होता है ना instrument, उसको goad बोलते हैं, G-O-A-D. हाँ, चाबुक बोलते हैं. There's another word for it. Ankush, na? हाँ जी. So Ankush. So these are the different footprints that are there. So, and his arms were very long. Ajanu, so Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing, Ajanu lambito bhujo. His arms, any great personality, you can tell by the bodily symptoms. And one of the symptoms is that the hands extend to their knees. Even Srila Prabhupada's hands extended to his knees. Ajanu lambito bhujo, kanakayo dhatu.
Beyond the knees.
Yeah. If you stand up, you'll check next time. Our hands generally don't reach the knees. I mean, you have to bend. But this is when you're standing in a regular posture. Huh? So, Ajanu lambita bhujo kanaka avdhata, and their complexion is molten. Kamalaya takshu, and his eyes are beautiful like lotus petals. Mahaprabhu was very beautiful. Amazingly beautiful. Because the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Krishna is anyways beautiful, and Radharani is double beauty. Radha Krishna, they are combined. They are combined. The beauty, amazing beauty. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beauty. Kamalaya Taksho, Vishwambara Dvijavaro, and he is actually Krishna is Vishwambar. Vishwambar means, that was his name given by the parents also. He had one brother known as Vishwarup, and his name was Vishwambar. Vishwarup and Vishwambar. Vishwambar means, Vishwa means the creation, and Bhar means one who is the
Holding.
not holding, one who is the caretaker or shelter giver. Bharta, Bharan Poshan karne wala. So he is known as Vishwa. Vishwambaro Dvijavaro. Dvijavaro means, Dvija means twice born, Brahmin. And Varo means he is the topmost of all the Brahmins, because his father was a great Brahmin, his grandfather was a great Brahmin, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a Brahmin. Dvijavaro, Yuga Dharma Palo. What is the Yuga Dharma? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Yuga Dharma Palo. He is actually preaching and following the Yuga Dharma. Vande Jagata Priya Karo. I offer my respectful obeisances, my dhanvats, to that personality who is very dear to the entire world. Karuna Avtaru. And not only that, he is the most compassionate of all. Out of compassion he comes for the souls called by Advaita Acharya, so that the souls can be delivered, and without any distinction. Dina jina jata chilo hari name uddharila tara shakki jagai madai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur, they went about in every town and village and they knocked on the doors. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur were ordered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is Balram. Vrajendrananda Sachisuta hoilo shai Balram hoilo nitai. Vrajendrananda means Nanda Baba's son. Sachisuta hoilo shai. He came as the son of Sachi Mata. And Balram hoilo nitai. And he came as Nityananda Prabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so compassionate for the souls, that he sent his lieutenant, number one person, Balram, and Haridas Thakur, who is the Namacharya. Haridas Thakur used to chant 3 lakh names every day. 3 lakh names is about 18 hours. 18 hours of non-stop chanting. 1 lakh name is 64 rounds. 64, we are doing minimum 16, which is about 24,000 something. So 3 lakh, because one name is Hare is one, Krishna, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare. Hare, Rama, Hare, Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. It is called the Shododasa Akshara mantra. Yeah, 16 syllable mantra. So, Mahaprabhu, out of pure compassion, Nityananda Prabhu, Haridas Thakur used to knock on every door on the order of Mahaprabhu and says, please go. Tell them, Ek bar Hari Naam lai lo. Please take the name of Hari name once. They used to go down on their knees to a lot of atheists, people who did not believe in Krishna. Please take the name of the holy name once, please. I beg you. I will become your servant. Who does that? Well, please take the name of the holy name once. Ek bar Hari Naam le lo. When they went out, they were struck. Nityananda Prabhu was struck by 2 drunkard brothers, Jagai and Madai, with a pot of liquor, and blood came out. That is the compassion. That is why Mahaprabhu is more compassionate than Krishna himself. That is why he is known as Audhari Avatar. What is he called? Audhari Avatar. Most magnanimous. That is why we say one mantra most of you all know is Namo Maha Vadanyaya. Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishay Nama. This prayer was emanated from the lotus mouth of Rupa Goswami when he first met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahavadanyaya, you are the most munificent of all. Mahavadanyaya means not some ordinary donor, the greatest donor. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never considered that, oh, you are a Shudra, or oh, you are a Brahmin, or oh, you are doing all the Vedic studies. Excuse me. No. Dina jina jata chilo. Everybody take. He actually broke open the storehouse of Krishna Prem. And what is Krishna Prem? Krishna Prem can be obtained through this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The prem that I am talking about. Remember all the way, thank you, all the way from the Shraddha stage to prem, and then within prem I explained there is Mahabhav, which is the type of bhav of the gopis. And even in Mahabhav there is further delineations. Madanakya bhav, that only it is exclusively for Radharani. But we can reach the stage of Mahabhav with this chanting. And that Mahaprabhu opened the doors. He said, come, I'll open the doors. I'll open the doors of Golok Vrindavan for all of you. Aajao. All I'm asking you is, please take the name, holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Not Vaikuntha, not Narayana, not Lord Ramachandra, not Vamandev, not Narsingadev, not any of these avatars. I'm giving you personally Radharani. I'm giving you myself. Nam Akari Nijada Sarva Shaktis. In the holy name, I am personally present. I have invested all my energies, especially Srimati Radharani. She is right there in the holy name. Tatra arpita niyamita smarena kalaha. There is no rules and regulations for chanting this holy name. You wake up at 3 in the morning and chant, or you want to chant at 10 o'clock at night. No rules and regulations. Take it. Just take the holy name. Actually, the Mahamantra originally was Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Mahaprabhu changed that. No rules and regulations. Just take the name. No need to even study the Vedas if you don't have that capability. If you take the holy name of the Lord, I will give you gold. That is the external reason that Mahaprabhu wanted to give love of Krishna, Krishna Prem of the highest caliber or the highest category that one can get, which is Mahabhav. One can get. These are the external reasons. Now please hear about the internal reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's internal reasons were that he actually, one time it is said that he was looking at himself in the water and he saw his own reflection. And he was stupefied with his own beauty. When he saw his own beauty, he was completely mesmerized. And then he was thinking, I am so beautiful. I want to taste my own beauty. I want to, please understand this. Internal reason, very important. I want to taste my own beauty. So how can I do that? So in order to do that, for example, and this is a very simple example. Imagine that we have some magical powers. And if I have to understand what you are thinking, then I would have to become you in order to understand what you are feeling. Hai ki nahi?
Yeah.
Right? Like for example, another simple example, a little baby, cute baby, and mother, they are there. And the mother is playing with the baby in the lap, and the baby is giggling, looking at the mother, and mother is also happy. She's looking at the baby. Now both of them are feeling happiness, but they are unique in their own ways. In order to understand what the baby is feeling, the mother would have to go into that baby's body in order to understand what that baby is feeling about her that is making him giggle or her giggle or her laugh. Please try to understand. It's a very important concept. And once I finish this, then I will end. Internal reason of Mahaprabhu. Because I'm not going into his pastimes. Pastimes will take long time. But I'm telling you the main fundamentals of Mahaprabhu's appearance. So Krishna wanted to taste his own beauty. That is the first internal reason. He wanted to taste his own beauty. And in order to do that, he had to take the role of Mahaprabhu, which is Srimati Radharani's mood. He took the mood of Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radharani's mood. He is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. He is Krishna, but he is in the mood of Radharani. In the mood of the most perfect devotee. So, like Bhagavad Gita, he explained and he left it and then he gave us the book Bhagavad Gita in the form of his instructions. But he came as a devotee, meaning Radharani. Krishna came as in the mood of Radharani, who is the pinnacle of bhakti, to teach bhakti. Try to understand that concept. That was the external. I had to mention that, I forgot that part. But the internal reason is he wanted to taste his own beauty. That was one. Second reason, internal reason is, he wanted to glorify Srimati Radharani. Prem. The love of Srimati Radharani, how great her love is, he wanted to glorify Radharani's love. Radhara Mahima Prema Rasha Shima Jagata Janatake Yadi Gaur na hoite. If Gauranga Mahaprabhu did not come, one would have never known the pinnacle or the love that Srimati Radharani has for Krishna. It is due to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we know or we have some idea or the greatest idea compared to any other understanding of love of Godhead. So in order to glorify Srimati Radharani, he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radha, that how Radha misses him, how Radha behaves without him, how Radha feels without Krishna in separation of Krishna. And the third reason he came is, what is the madness and the happiness Radharani gets by tasting my beauty? Like the example of the child and the mother I gave you. You have to inverse roles in order to understand that perfectly. So that is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually, first 24 years, he lived in Navadvip. He was a student himself. He excelled. And then he himself became a teacher. And he taught grammar, Nyaya, logic, all these things. And he was such a great scholar that he even defeated the best of the best Pandits, Digvijay Pandits, Keshav Kashmiri being one of them. He defeated him completely. So many, and he was such a perfect. The other day, mother was asking me, what is the pastime, the significance? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very arrogant actually, as a teacher, and also as a student, because that was a pastime. And he liked to bestow his mercy. So Keshav Kashmiri once came and Digvijay. What Digvijayas do, they go to different cities, and Navadvip was considered one of the biggest cities of scholarship. Just like Banaras is considered one of the bigger cities in India for scholarship in Vedas. So was Navadvip at that time. Big scholars were there. So when somebody came as a Digvijay means he has conquered all the other scholars and he wants a certificate from all. That okay. Or if somebody doesn't want to give him a certificate that I submit to you, he says then you have to debate with me. And then he will defeat. So when Keshav Kashmiri came to Navadvip and he said that, oh, I heard that you are a good scholar in Sanskrit. He tells Nimai Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he says, no. But I heard you are a very great poet. And I don't know anything about poetry. Can you maybe, while we are right by the Ganga, can you compose something and tell me something about the Ganga? So Keshav Kashmiri is very pleased and he gets more puffed up. Oh, see, everybody recognizes me. So it's like, everybody knows me. Like somebody was saying the other day, it was kind of funny. It was on TV, oh, I know Amitabh Bachchan. Then somebody asked, does Amitabh Bachchan know you? So anyways, so the point is Keshav Kashmiri got puffed up. See, even the little boys in the town, they know me. I'm Keshav Digvijay. So he immediately composed 100 verses in 1 hour, glorifying Gangaji. So then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, Pandit, there is one thing that I find here, that if you can just explain the meaning of one of the verses out of the 100, I have found this verse interesting. Can you explain the meaning? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually recited the entire verse out of the 100 verses. Mahaprabhu was so perfect. He listened to it once. 100 verses he rattled in Sanskrit. And he was shocked himself, Keshav Kashmiri, that, wow, how did you remember this? Yeah. So Mahaprabhu said, and he's so polite. See, that's another thing about Vaishnavas. That by the mercy of Saraswati Mata, you are a great poet. And by the mercy of Saraswati Mata, one can be a good Shrutidhar. One can be a good listener. So he doesn't tell him in a puffed up way, but he says in a very humble way. So then he accepts that answer and then he says, explain this meaning. And then he goes to explain. Then he says, generally in any poetry, there are faults and there are ornaments. good and bad in every poetry. Can you tell me what is the faults in your poetry and tell me the good things in your poetry? So he says that I don't see any faults in my poetry. Keshav Kashmiri says I don't see any faults in my poetry. So then he says, Mahaprabhu says, well, it is not true. There is always something. I have heard from the great learned scholars that there is always some dosh and there is always some gunas. Two things are always present in any composition. So he says, okay, if you know something, you tell me. So he says, okay, fine. So he finds 5 mistakes. I can't remember each and every one of them, but they're all grammatical. And one of the mistakes he finds is this word. He says that he glorified the Ganga, stating that the Ganga is actually none other than a second Lakshmi, and she is actually very glorious because she emanates from the lotus feet of Vishnu, and she actually is taken on the head by Shivji. And he uses the word Bhavani Bharta. Bhavani Bharta. So he says, one of the major faults is that you have called Shivji Bhavani Bharta. Now this is Nimai Pandit, and he always loved to play around and fool around, and he actually really made a big fool out of Keshav Kashmiri. So he says, how is that wrong? He says, well, the word Bhavani itself means she is the wife of Shiva. Bhava means, one name of Bhava of Shiva, Lord Shiva is Bhava. And Bhavani, like Janak, his daughter's name is Janki, or Vasudev, son is Vasudev. So Bhava's wife is Bhavani. Bhavani. So Bhavani Bhartu. Bhartu means husband or one who is a provider. So that means does she have a second husband? The husband of it is like saying, and the example that Mahaprabhu gives it is like saying, give charity to the husband of this wife of a Brahmana. Give charity to the husband of the wife of this Brahmana. That means, does she have more than one husband? So there and there he was flabbergasted. And then at night Saraswati Mata came and he was very upset. He used to do Upasana of Saraswati and says, Saraswati Mata, today I got defeated by a small child. You did not keep my large. You did not, I got defeated. And then Mata Saraswati says, you don't know who you're messing with. He's my husband. Krishna. Right? So basically, so wonderful pastimes like that they were performed. And then when he grew up 24 years, at the age of 24 he took sannyas. And the reason why he took sannyas is because in Navadvip now he had become familiarity breeds contempt. There is a proverb Prabhupada used to use. His friends, his schoolmates, etc., they never took him seriously. And the time came when he took initiation from Ishwarpuri Pad. He knew that it was time. And also it was the curse of a Brahman. Remember, Vishaka Sakhi had also cursed him in Golok that you will cry. That is one of the internal reasons. And then in Srivasa Thakur's house, he used to perform Sankirtan every night. Behind closed doors. That was not allowed to everyone. So one Brahman wanted to go, but he was not allowed inside. There has to be some qualification. Not everybody, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discussed spiritual topics that were of high grade. He only discusses with some of the internal associates and even the Sankirtan. So that Brahmin, next day he broke his janoi and he cursed him that you will lose your family life. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu kept that word of that Brahmin. Takta sudustajam surapsita raja lakshmi dharmishta arya vachasa yad radha aranyam maya amrigam daip sita manya dhava vande mahapurushyate charnar vindam. This verse describes that how Mahaprabhu took sannyas and he went into the forest, meaning so that people could be removed. Because normal people, when they are preaching, they don't have respect from the society. But if the same thing that is being preached by a sannyasi, people have respect. And his job was to spread the Sankirtan movement. He had only at that time a 14-year-old wife, Vishnu Priyaji, and he left. At night only he left. And Vishnu Priya was so dedicated to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu actually personally manifested a deity of himself and said, you serve. And she used to chant the holy name again. That is because what her husband was all about, the holy name, right? She chanted so much. How much holy name she chanted? That number of grains she put aside. Rice grains. And that is all she ate. Whatever holy names she chanted, for every round a holy name she chanted, she put aside a grain of rice. And like that, whole day she was chanting and dedicated to her husband. That is the... So it was 24 years, and then he took sannyas. After sannyas, he traveled about 6 years in India, and then he went to Jagannath Puri, and Jagannath Puri last 12 years he spent in a very small confined space, as small as probably where you are sitting to where this Mataji is sitting, right here. About 8 by 8, something like that, small place called the Gambhira. So if you go to Jagannath Puri, which you are going, I think, please visit Gambhira. Yes, pay your obeisances to that place. It's an amazing, the padukas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, meaning his sandals are there, and his kamandal is there. His begging pot, because he was a sannyasi. So he had, along the way, he had delivered a lot of people, including great personalities and Brahmavadis or Mayavadis like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, so many. But ultimately, when he came to the last 12 years, he was in the internal bhajan of completely dedicated to Radha Rani's bhajan, feeling the pain and separation from Krishna. And that's in that pain, the golden volcano bursted, and from his mouth came out the lava of Chaitanya Shishtastakam. That was his pain from separation from Radharani, from Krishna, in the mood of Radha, that he came out with the famous Shishtastakam. That is like a volcano. When the volcano bursts, there's a lot of heat and there's a lot of flames coming out, and there is liquid lava that flows. And the lava flowed. Shishtastakam is basically a rendering from his heart, from the separation of Srimati Radharani. And to obtain the same ecstatic mood in Mahabhav, Vipranamba Bhav of Radharani. That is Shishtastakam. Of course, Shishtastakam is another subject by itself. Maybe when Mahaprabhu wishes, we can discuss that some other day. But this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's only so little I can speak about him because my knowledge is limited. But the main thing is that he is very kind. Anybody, no distinction, no caste. Same thing, Prabhupada followed in his footsteps. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted 500 years ago, Prithvi cha aaj nagaradi gram, sarvatra hoibe mora naam prachar. In every town and village, my name will be spread. And is it not so true? 500 years later, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada became the instrument of Mahaprabhu. And even today, you go anywhere, whether you go to Tokyo or Kuwait or you go to Russia, everybody knows the name Hare Krishna. So Mahaprabhu had predicted that, and Prabhupada became the instrument in spreading the holy name. Indira Gandhi, Prabhupada met Indira Gandhi when he was in India, in the Prime Minister's house. And at that time, Indira Gandhi said, Swamiji, aapne kamal kar diya. You did a nice thing. Everybody, knows about Krishna all over the world. So Prabhupada said, no, I have not done anything great. Actually, I have just repeated as is what my Guru Maharaj gave me. Just like a postman. So he didn't take credit for himself. And this is what Mahaprabhu's kripa is. If we want to be a part of Golok Vrindavan whenever we get perfection, we want to be a team, internal team of Radharani, we want to serve Radhaji, and we want to serve Krishna, then our best option is, and the only option is, Mahaprabhu. Yes, there are so many devotees of Krishna who have not taken into account Mahaprabhu. So they have got that different respective destinations in Vaikuntha, in Dwarka, in Mathura. But in order to enter Golok Vrindavan in that mood, we need the help of Mahaprabhu and his associates. Without Nityananda Prabhu, one cannot get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And without the mercy of Advaita Acharya, we cannot get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have to decide, is this something, after what you heard today, something that you would like to pursue personally? And the reason it is not a fanaticism that we are talking about is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There is a specific reason that gives you admission to a specific college. Now, do you want to go to the best of the best colleges, which is IIT, or the, IIM, Ahmedabad? The best of best. So best of best spiritual colleges is Golok Vrindavan under the tutelage of our acharyas, our Gaudiya acharyas, who actually are followers of Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu came because he is magnanimous and no distinction. Give it to everyone. He didn't see what is your qualification. That is why Narottam Das Thakur says in one of his bhajans, famous bhajans, that Toma vina ke dayalu, patita pavane hetu tava avtar, mo sama patita Prabhu na paibeha. Nobody is as fallen as me, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and I have heard that your job is to deliver the fallen people. And delivering fallen people is one thing which any Swarup of the Lord does. But to give Krishna prem, and to give Krishna prem of the level of Mahabhava, is Mahaprabhu. Giving donation, it's like supposing somebody and asks you, can you give me $20 for my church? You are kind-hearted, you write them a check or you give them a $20 bill, thank you, they will say, that's one donation. And somebody will come and tell you, I need this, somebody that you really love. Let's say your own dad came to you, and I need money. Dad, here's a blank check. Whatever I have in my account is all yours. That's what Mahaprabhu is giving. Whatever is in my account, I'm giving you the same thing that I'm giving, that you can take from me, which is the highest. There's nothing beyond that, which is Radharani's prem, which is Mahabhava. Please take that. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. He opened the storehouse. He opened the storehouse of Krishna prem. And that is the only way that we can get into the highest and the topmost prem is through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy and through the associates of Mahaprabhu. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. From Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai. So his pastimes are unlimited, but whatever I could in this time, whatever my abilities were, whatever I could remember, I have shared with you. I hope this has inspired some of you, especially some of you who have not known anything about Mahaprabhu, or those who have even known something about Mahaprabhu. This gives you a different dimension. Always remember, he is the most magnanimous of all the avatars of Krishna and even beyond Krishna. There is no one as kind as Mahaprabhu in the entire creation. No one as kind as him. He's giving you a blank check to enter into the innermost chambers of his house, into the innermost family members. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Mahaprabhu ki mahima janna wajre. No, so many Hindus are there in India. They know Krishna, they know Radharani, but they don't know about anything about Mahaprabhu. This is more. This is even beyond Meera's prem. This is beyond all that. It is even beyond Rukmini's prem. It is beyond Satyabhama's prem. Even the prem of the queens of Dwarka that they had for Krishna. That kind of prem opportunity we have. We have no idea how fortunate we are.